everybody. Welcome to the Wheels Blues podcast. How's everybody doing today? It's episode 18.
Hey, Wheels. Hey, Wheels, buddy.
What's up?
We're doing awesome, man. We're doing fucking awesome.
Good, man. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
I am at Tin Can Blues, and I'm doing fucking awesome.
Good, man. Good.
I'm at Eric _83, and I'm feeling good.
Dirty?
I'm at Squeed, SKW and I am content.
And I'm a little aggravated, but that's my fault. And I am at Mighty Wheels. You know where I am.
You know where I am.
Okay.
Why are you frustrated? What's wrong, buddy?
There was a lot of technical difficulties. We are recording this episode probably about an hour late because at Mighty Wheels had some technical difficulties and he wasn't on the ball today. So he's a little late and just didn't have it together today, boys. He apologizes.
Jeez, this never happens.
The rest of the episode is going to be amazing. This is going to be a good episode. I feel good about it now. I feel good about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel good.
Well, I wrote down everything that was said over the last hour, so I sent the scripts out, so we should be pretty all right.
Oh, yeah, it's coming through on fax right now.
Bullshit, my line. Bullshit, my line. We're good.
Opens to Wheels is distraught. Wheels is distraught.
Wheels is distraught. There was probably a lot of cussing that nobody heard, that you guys heard only, because you were on there for a while when I wasn't.
Oh, no, you.
To be honest, I block out most of the words that come out of your mouth.
That's all right. I block out your existence, except on Fridays.
I have a literal mute button, like on Twitter.
Yeah.
In my head, so when you hit a keyword and just like.
What
did everybody do?
Twitter handle, isn't it? I introduced myself to be the pod, and you're just like, well, tuning him out for the rest of this.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about hockey.
Are we going to talk about
there
that?
It is.
There's going to be no hockey. Hockey is done. The golden child of the Toronto Maple Leafs has COVID now, and they're shutting her down. I think, personally, that they're going to just shut it down. Yeah.
Well, Leafs can't play. Fuck hockey, right? That's,
right.
I don't agree with that, but I kind of do.
What would everyone talk about if the Leafs weren't shit in the bed? You guys would have nothing to fucking talk about. Hockey was played last night. It was great. We had a great time.
Even the Oilers won.
We've been doing this for like 3 months without sports. I feel like we have tons of stuff to talk about. We don't need.
It's so weird.
It's
3 months
weird.
without fucking sports.
It's very
so
weird.
weird.
It is weird.
3 months without sports. 3 months without any new movies. Like TV shows are canceled. No new movies. It's a weird fucking time.
Yeah,
good for you guys. Just, meh.
Yeah, no.
There's still some video games.
Yeah, that didn't arrive today, so like Well,
they arrived for me.
Yeah, well.
Come on, you don't want to know a little synopsis? This is
no, you fucking spoiler queen. I don't want to hear.
Don't you do it? Don't you fucking do it, Wheels?
What do you
do?
What are you playing, Justin? That they don't want to fucking.
There's this one part in Dreams.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Where you do this thing,
right?
Yeah.
Is it totally awesome?
With this person.
Yeah.
And there's this other person.
Dude,
I have no stake in this, so sing on.
Now you're just being a smart ass.
Dude, you gotta play the Dreams, man. You gotta get on that shit. It's good.
Yeah, I gotta play Dreams.
I dream of playing Last of Us 2, so
if you had Dreams, you could have made The Last of Us 2 already and not get the game.
My narrative skills are nowhere near Neil Druckmann's, so no.
You know what? Can I say something right off the bat?
Sure.
Fuck Neil Druckmann, man. All right.
What did Neil Druckmann do to you?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, dude, he's like the writer and director of The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Quick question, and I could probably just Google this myself, but I'll ask you, Sid. Is the guy who does Drake's voice? Is that the guy who does the voice for the lead character in Last?
It
Light?
is. Yeah.
It is okay. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, these fucking guys, like they're just
Troy Baker.
He's a really prominent.
Troy Baker.
Yeah.
Is it Troy Baker or is it Nolan North?
It's Troy Baker does Joel.
Is it Troy Baker? Okay.
So it's not the same guy as Drake.
I can't remember. I'm not entirely sure. No. I know that the voice is the same person, so it's either Troy Baker or Nolan North. Sid would know better than I would know.
It's Troy Baker because I've been listening to the Last of Us podcast. So
okay.
Holy fuck! They got a podcast.
But
they do.
Wow.
Yeah. Nolan North is Nathan Drake though, so there's that.
Okay. Then they
are not the same.
Oh well, there you go.
It sounds fucking really similar.
Very similar.
Dude, there's parts in The Last of Us where you'll be playing and you'll kind of expect it to be like this huge action set piece, like Uncharted, and then it's grounded and real, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Naughty Dog. They're both Naughty Dog games, right? And they're super tight, aesthetically pleasing, good voice acting, but oh man, the narrative of The Last of Us is so damn.
The Last of Us is almost like an apocalyptic drama, like a post-apocalyptic drama.
I'd say that's exactly what it is.
It's very dramatic, yeah.
With like,
I feel like I'm playing I feel like I'm playing a game that's just like was made like a fucking week ago. Like they came out with a story like
this is a PS3 game, eh?
Yeah. Like,
but that's Naughty Dog, man. Like they know how to make ridiculously beautiful games. We're lucky as PlayStation gamers to have like such an awesome developer.
Yeah, I mean, like Uncharted 4 was just like a masterpiece. It was
very good. It was excellent. They were all really good.
Everything about that game, like you don't really talk about cinematography in a game so much. Holy shit! You just like there's times where like you're running, and you just kind of stop, and you have to do like a little 360. Like,
yeah.
They're like, oh shit, I'm getting shot.
Well, and like the fluidity of motion too, like the climbing in that game just looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
It just looks so good.
Fuck, I love doing that. I love Uncharted for that, especially for the fucking jumping around and fucking.
You played through the entire narrative of Uncharted from 1 to 4?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an excellent. Yeah, Naughty Dog is definitely probably the top video game storytellers.
And I mean, like, I was drawn to it anyway, like, just as, like, an Indiana Jones fan.
Yeah, me too.
Because that's pretty much what you're doing minus fighting Nazis. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
basically.
They gotta be, Pakistanis that are stealing your art. Or Indians, whatever they are.
Yeah, they got to be up there with whoever the hell made the new Tomb Raider reboots, like those 3 games.
Yeah.
Because those are excellent games too. Well, at least the first 2. The third one I haven't played yet, but
yeah, the first 2 are
awesome.
Yeah, the third one kind of draws itself out a bit too much. You keep expecting these awesome story arcs, and they lead into it, and then they just kind of, oh wow, super epic moment, and no significant changes in the character, and you're like, oh man, this should have been better.
They wussed out that.
Like the first Tomb Raider is like the best of the like the reimaginings or the remakes or the newest batch. Mm-hmm. I think anyway.
Can any of you guys play, or do you know of like the Uncharted game where it's like the two women?
Oh, Lost Legacy?
Yeah,
I played through that. That was decent too. I like that one.
What was it? It's like a full-length game, right? Like
it's like a mini game.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a budget game. Right. Like it came out at like $50, I think. When it was new.
Yeah.
I haven't played. I bought it because I saw it at Walmart for $15. I just haven't played it.
It's still like 10 hours. Like it's still like a 10-hour experience. So
okay, so you're pretty much playing Uncharted, but with 2 women.
Yeah, you're getting a good chunk of a story in the game for sure.
Well, I think that's what that Miles Morales Spider-Man game is going to be. I don't think it's going to be a full game. I think it's going to be an interstitial.
Yeah, I kind of think that too.
Like to be putting out a brand new Spider-Man game, like it's going to reuse a lot of assets. I feel it's going to be in the same like boroughs in New York, maybe with a few little expanded areas.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, I don't know. I've heard conflicting things, so
There
we'll
will
wait
be
to
lots
see
of
when we'll have
Brooklyn
PS5s.
stuff. Lots of Brooklyn stuff, probably because Miles Morales is from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brooklyn used
What
to
did
be where
you
it
get
was
up
at
to
like a few
this
years
week
ago.
there, Tyson?
What did I get up to this week?
Yeah.
Well, I went to the doctor with a sore throat, and he told me to go get a COVID swab. So I've been stuck in my bedroom for the last 3 days.
How many times have we told you don't play with toilets? It's gross.
It's inherently part of my job, man. No choice.
Wear a mask. Or
I did wear a mask and gloves when I'm at work, and
there you go.
what are you gonna do? So, but I feel fine. So hopefully I get a negative swab, and it's just
You will. You'll be fine. Yeah.
And then I should, but I get an auto dial. And just for the reference, it's not through the nose anymore. They just go in your throat. So if you're if you're thinking about going, don't let that scare you away.
No.
Because I know, I think if I pulled up to that hospital where they're doing the test and in my car and I saw them going through the nose, I probably would just drove away. Fuck this! I'm gonna go quarantine for 14 days and fucking that's it. I'm not getting. So anyway, I saw him go in the throat, and I went, okay, it can't be that bad. And it wasn't. It took 5 seconds. And
that's cool.
Anyway, so I've got a little bit of time on my hands, boys. So yeah,
cool.
So was there anything in particular that you got up to with your?
Yeah, I decided to watch some movies. I watched I watched some classic oldie movies.
Oh, what like a 16 Candles or
like a little bit of
St. Elmo's Fire.
Anything
like those John Hughes classics.
Yeah. No,
I got Breakfast Club.
good soundtrack, touching story kind of movie.
It, yeah. You know what? I decided I'd watch Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I decided I'd fucking get around to doing it. So yeah. So yeah.
I feel like you just read the Wikipedia article about it.
Dude, the fucking Cole's Notes book for that must be 1,000 pages.
Yeah, it's fucking a lot.
You've got the Cole's Notes there, I think, Eric, don't you?
Yeah, of course I do.
The fucking Cole's Notes are longer than the fucking movie is, probably.
Probably.
Especially for that fucking scene.
Which movie did you watch? Which version of it did you watch?
I watched the 3 hour, the fucking whatever. Fuck! It was so long.
Good boy.
Oh my god! But yeah, it was awesome. But the start of the movie and the end of the movie were pretty fucking good, and I was immediately drawn in at the start to that fucking Robert Duvall, the sergeant or whatever.
Yeah.
That guy was fucking great. He's just oh, the waves. Well, look at. There's fucking mortars going off everywhere, and he's like, "Let's see how it splits left, and then it splits right. You could ride one side, I'll ride one side." And it was fucking awesome, man. That guy, mortars and shit going off, and he doesn't give a fuck, right? He's just talking about, doesn't flinch anything. And the end, it was a lot different than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think I'd be watching a Lord of the Flies kind of fucking weird cult at the end. Everybody's in fucking cages and
Marlon Brando
crazy people,
crazy because of war.
Yeah, he's lost it, and it was pretty nuts. But the middle kind of lost me, guys, because of that fucking 45 minutes of having dinner and speaking French that I didn't understand.
In the villa.
Yeah.
When they
get to Cambodia, and they show up there and
it's so useless. And somebody out there, somebody please fucking explain to him why we needed like that scene in that fucking movie.
It was a respite, and it made you empathize with the Viet Cong.
Give me a break.
Whoa.
The fucking war happened. Should that not be enough to fucking?
It was a tie.
It was a tie.
Fuck. Yeah, like it was something, man. Like they were just talking and talking. And I'm like, holy fuck. And then I paused it and I'm like, wow, there is still like an hour and a half to this movie. Holy. And then I'm like, what are they gonna do? Like, when are they gonna go kill that guy? Like, I'm like,
You just keep waiting for like Vietnamese to like jump into the window or something. Like,
yeah, like every time I thought there was gonna be a lot more war. I know there was a bunch of war, but I thought it was gonna be a lot more battles going on and
The war going on in your mind, man.
yeah.
Man, it's all about being in your mind.
They're just so good. Like I didn't expect to laugh too. Like I didn't expect to laugh at the movie when they took, they take his fucking surfboard and they all run off. And then he's flying the helicopter and he's like, I really like it. Please bring it back. And like he's this fucking hard ass sergeant who's like, he seems like a hard ass, but he's like this, actually like a nice guy and probably like a pretty good sergeant or whatever, captain, whatever he was to have in the war. But yeah, I'm glad I watched it. So you guys get off my fucking back now.
I think I'd be super freaked out if somebody was in like a war zone, like Robert Duvall in that movie, just casually like going about his day. I think that would really
freak you out. I think it would calm me right the fuck down.
Oh yeah,
be like, oh look, this guy's,
Yeah, maybe.
I'd be immediately like, well, he's still fucking alive. I'm just gonna walk where he walks, go where he goes. Like,
literally shadow that guy until he makes me like his fucking radio operator, and then
yeah. Not go anywhere. Like wherever that guy goes, like they're right. Like even the act, like Robert Duvall portrayed the character as like somebody who, like, oh, you just know that son of a bitch is gonna leave this war without a scratch.
He
acted it so well. I was like, yep, that guy's not gonna get a scratch.
Everybody acts like really like Brando, fucking Hopper.
Hopper's even really good in that.
Not Kirk Douglas. I always mix them up. It's not Kirk Douglas.
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen. I always get those two fucking mixed up.
How?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. It was the same thing with Bill Paxton and Bill Pullman. I used to always get those two fucking mixed up. And those are more distinct than fucking...
There's a funny thing on Twitter right now about, it's like trending. People want a Twister sequel, and then a lot of the replies are like, Bill Paxton's dead, right? He can't do it.
He is dead.
Realize that Bill Paxton was dead, so they can't actually do the sequel.
What did they want a sequel for?
Twister. You've never seen Twister?
No, I've seen Twister. I'm not understanding why there needs to be. I think we said all we needed to say with the first one, right?
Well, I agree, but
I think they could do a pretty cool Storm Chaser movie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like a Twister 2. So what? So obviously you open up it's Helen Hunt.
Twister 2, Twister.
Man, there's a ton of those fucking like in the 90s and stuff. Tons of those like disaster movies. They were like Dante's Peak. Yeah, Dante's Peak, which was fucking awesome.
I've seen that and Twister like in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
They're always on like TV.
What's Dante's Peak? Is that Pierce Brosnan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's the other one that's got not Pierce Brosnan, but it's like it's like Treat Williams or Tom Berenger. I can't remember who it is, but there's another one. It's like about a volcano. It's in like Los Angeles. I think it's called it's called Volcano. Not a memorable movie.
Shit is going down. Star of the Rock. Volcano. Well, what's it about? You just look at the guy like, the movie's called Volcano, idiot. It's about a hurricane, you fucking up.
Hurricane, you moron.
One adult, one child for Volcano.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine. Can't be that scary.
Oh man. But it's true. And as we were saying earlier in our talking there earlier, 90s movies, I'm sorry, like they're just so much better than this CGI bullshit. that we get.
I don't know. I agree, like, to an extent. Like, those '90s movies, like, when shit was happening on that screen, it was almost entirely actually happening. Like, while they were filming it. Like, if there's a fucking helicopter,
the Matrix and the Star Wars prequels and the Mummy movies and the four.
Well, no, but like
first, a lot. There were still a lot of practical effects in those movies. You could see when the CGI is, and also, like, I don't know, when they started filming digitally, it was a weird adjustment to get to. And now, like, you watch stuff from the '90s, and you can tell it was like filmed. It's just, I don't know. There's a whole different, like, aesthetic and feel to it.
Yeah.
How about
it is
masterpiece Spawn?
You know what? We don't have to talk about the worst movies ever made.
No, I don't.
I don't know what they were thinking, making a PG movie about a guy who kills a child killer. Like, you don't make that. Like the fifth issue of Spawn, he's like, Billy Kincaid is finger painting with children's fingers. You can't turn that into a PG movie. And because the only good part of that movie was John Leguizamo.
Yeah, it's very true, actually.
And
Martin Sheen again. Look at Martin Sheen popping up all over the place here.
Ah, fuck. But I mean, like, it is, like, depends. Like, if you want to watch, like, a movie that's got some crazy ass fucking, like, there's no doubt, like, movies made today are made like it's fucking cool. Some of the shit they can do with CGI and everything. Like, it looks awesome. But yeah, like, it does have a different feel, and you got to appreciate, like, especially after watching Apocalypse Now, like, when there's fucking explosions happening on the ground and all the actors are there, well, that shit's fucking going on.
Right.
Like, the actors are fucking acting around all that, like, and possibly using it as motivation. I would imagine. You're like, fuck, I'm in a war zone, you know?
Yeah.
And, like,
special effects guy has, like, one arm and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah, and at one point, a whole tree line erupts into flames. Like, they call in a fucking airstrike on it. Like, imagine somebody fucking that up. And they're like, oh, fucking shit.
Let's go to the
next forest. Take two. Like, you know, or somebody flubs a line after something, like, you know, after a whole village erupts in flames, you know?
It gives, like, a whole lot more context to, like, a movie like Tropic Thunder, where they totally spoof all the war, and that opening scene where they're actually, he's like, I got these fucking planes coming in, and, like, fucking whatever, like, Ben Stiller can't cry or whatever he is crying.
They used a lot of practical effects in that movie as well. That part where they, like, napalm carpet bomb.
Yeah.
There was like 30,000 barrels of diesel they lit on fire for that scene.
That's crazy.
Like, that's practical effects. Like, I don't think you'd get that now with gas prices, but, like, you know, they just burned a chunk of jungle just for, like, a 30-second scene, right?
Yeah.
And it is kind of cool. Like, I guess it's good now that, like, you don't have to fucking set the earth on fire for a 30-second scene just for a movie.
That is true.
But there's something about seeing it and going, like, holy fuck, that, like, somebody made that happen, like, exactly how they wanted, and then they got it on film.
But, you know, there's an issue with injury as well, too, right? Like, that stunt lady from, I can't remember what Resident Evil movie, they changed the stunt last minute. And, like, I don't know, there was just a communication error, and she ended up getting knocked off a motorcycle with the camera, and, like, was in a coma, lost her arm, like, huge amount of stuff. That movie came out, like, 10 years ago. I think she just got a settlement.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, that's a risk. And even, like, a settlement aside, the years of litigation, like, well, you can just pay a room of programmers to make it look pretty damn convincing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where it's going. Like, but how long until, like, a movie is just all CGI? They don't even need fucking actors. Like, they don't even need to pay them. Studios don't even need to pay a fucking actor. They just make a character and...
Well,
I think you'll see that, but I don't think, like, a whole movie, like movie making is such, like, this art, right? Like,
yeah, but look what they do.
Well, why don't painters, like, how come painters don't just fucking go on a computer and fucking, you know, use
a lot of them are switching over to do that. But yeah, like,
well, but there's an art to actually getting a canvas and brush.
Yeah, but there's also like a movie studio's like $30 million for Robert Downey Jr.
True, yeah, like, true, absolutely.
Like $3 million for, like, a team to make a character like him, but it's not him. Or, you know,
I think
like,
it's $30 million for Robert Downey Jr. How much for Tom Hanks? It's got to be like at least 50, 60 mil
Robert Downey
I would
Jr.
say
got
for a
$100
Tom
million
Hanks CGI to get that kind of emotion that a Tom Hanks is going to deliver via your screen, huh? That's
Dude,
at least 60 million. Speaking of people's worth from last week.
Iron Man's sacrifice didn't make you cry. You'd have no soul.
Get out. No, I did not fucking cry.
You guys got to think too, though. Like, you know, in video games nowadays, all these voice actors are literally mocapping all this stuff.
Yeah.
They're acting out every scene, every action. Like, they're saying that it was likely at least $100 million to make The Last of Us Part 2.
Wow.
Like $100 million. That's a game.
Crazy.
With voice actors.
That's
like
crazy.
the concept of replacing real actors and having voice actors do it is equally as expensive with the way like games media is these days.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So you gotta
$100 million?
fuck, that's huge.
So how much do you think like Red Dead would have fucking cost? Like up there? Like
Probably.
For 4 years, 2 or 5 years, whatever it took.
it was like 8
probably
years.
each of these games.
It's like 8.
For Red Dead,
Yeah.
it was 8 years.
It's 7 or 8, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So how the fuck do they even do that when they start developing a game and then like when the game finally comes out, it's released with technology that didn't exist when they started making the game? You know, so like they probably started making it when the PS4 didn't even exist.
It didn't exist for us, but it existed for them.
Yeah, but things
kits and whatnot.
Yeah, but it probably got better over the 8 years. Like look how quick.
Yep. Once you design an engine or tweak your engine for the next generation of console, they're not going to update it by changing major components. They're just going to use similar components that are faster, right? Like it would be stupid to go, okay, sweet, we're going to use the cell processor because that worked out great. PS3, but you know, like Red Dead 2 was between $80 and $100 million.
Crazy.
And I also think video games, Sid would know more. Video games are probably like movies and TV shows where like there's phases. There's like a script, and then there's like a draft, and then there's like a rough cut. And
Yeah.
like, through video games,
Oh yeah.
all different iterations before they're even done.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
They'll drastically change story elements and like cut huge content from games and whatnot. Like
Yeah.
it would be cool to get shit that made it onto the cutting room floor of like, you know, your favorite games to be like,
That
oh
would be
wow,
kinda
they didn't
cool.
do this. Oh, they changed
Yeah.
this.
Like special features for video games.
Fuck, I could only imagine.
Like,
Yeah, no shit. Like how
There's
much
one
money do you
games
think
that-
Red Dead made? Like fuck thing had to make more than like easily more than that. So
Boatloads of money.
but if you ever wonder why games are fucking like $90, that's why. Like
well, you know what?
100 million.
Games have been $90
Yeah.
since it was 10-man teams making Nintendo games.
Yeah.
The fact that
Yeah, but-
games haven't gotten more expensive yet is ridiculous because instead of a team of 10 dudes making a game in 3 months and selling it for $80 in 40-year ago currency,
Yeah.
with inflation, like we should be paying $200 a game. And
Yeah, but games are more
Definitely
widespread
not.
now and way more mainstream now.
it is one of the biggest like money makers in media, I think.
Like there's the amount of people who play games are like there's a lot of because hardly it was probably a lot more kids playing games when they first came out, right? And then
Mhm.
adults making them and still playing them. But then like now, look at it's fucking all the us growing up playing them.
Yeah.
That are still buying them and still wanting all these kind of incredible games that we could only dream about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Like,
Red Dead 2 sold 23 million copies.
wow.
Yeah, fuck
They-
yeah, it did.
They so Take-Two's net revenue that year that came out was 1.25 billion in the third quarter.
Yeah, baby.
In the third
In
quarter.
the third quarter, up 480 million. So that game probably made $500 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like,
And that's one of those ones where like you can buy shit with like real money.
yeah,
Right?
it's still making money now.
29
Yeah.
million copies sold is the most recent number, actually. So 2 million more.
Crazy.
Wow.
Fuck yeah. I love that game so much.
Sid, do you
29
know-
million, you say?
Do you know how many Last of Us 2 were sold right off the bat, like first day buy or whatever?
I know a lot of people canceled their pre-orders, but I've heard conflicting things on that.
Oh, interesting.
Why would they have been canceling their pre-orders?
Because the all of the video files were leaked.
Oh.
Yeah, someone got in through a back door into Naughty Dog through Sony and fucking uploaded all the videos.
They spoiled the entire thing. Fucking
Which is ridiculous. I'm glad I got that. Like, I avoided that.
Holy
Yeah, me
fuck.
too.
Well,
Like,
dude, I don't know how much, if this is like, I just did the math on 29 million copies, if they were all sold at $80, and my calculator can't display it. It just says 2.32 exponent 9. So that's how much money they make.
Well, plus you have to realize like pre-orders, like there's you get like the gold edition, which is like 100 and some odd bucks, and and then there's like a platinum edition, like, and people are buying those fucking
So, but like there's sales too. Like some people probably bought it on like sale for like $50 or $40 or something.
Of course.
So, but like if you just kind of took all that extra shit away and just went with a flat $80 it is, and 29 million copies is $2.32 billion.
But those sales take a cut out of like they've got to take a cut out of like the outfit selling them, right? Like the outfit pays a percentage of the game.
Yeah,
that's true.
So I don't
when
know
you put
what
it
the
on
percentage like the upsale is when you buy like 1,000 copies of this.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, it's still pretty crazy. So like you could probably round that up to 2 billion, take the 323 million off of it, and for like vendor costs, and then there you go, or whatever vendor takes that much, and fucking still got $2 billion. You invested 100 million and you made 2 billion. I think it's a pretty good investment.
and if you can do like that twice in your lifetime, you don't have to do anything else ever again.
You just like fuck. And then like all the salaries for like the guys that like own the company are probably just like, this is awesome. We just made like $2 billion. Well,
like when everyone was bitching about those dudes working overtime at Rockstar, and it's like, yeah, but a lot of those guys that are putting in those extra hours are getting 5 or 6 figure bonus checks after this and 6 months off.
Yeah.
Like they're choosing to go in. You know what? I go in because I'm passionate about the work I do, and I'll go in on weekends and I'll do all this stuff, but I don't get a cut of the profits made from that. I get my hourly wage plus like 50% more, but the government taxes that another 15%. So like, this crunch culture, people that complain about crunch culture in video games are not realizing that people do that shit in every avenue of work. Except most people don't get bonuses. Like,
or 6 months off, just like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
Video game markups 5 to 15% apparently. So like, a store's making a store's making $5 to $10.
That's not very much at all.
But production, right? Like you think about stuff that's sold on the PSN, and Sony gets 30% of everything sold, right? On the PSN, and then they cut. There's no 5 to 15% going to a store. There's no production costs for physical media, which is going to go with the way of the dinosaur in the next like decade, I think.
Yeah, I can see that.
Next after PlayStation 6, like that.
Yeah, by PlayStation 6, they won't even bother with like hard copies.
A disc, yeah.
Well, they'll probably just sell like special like steel books or something for people to put up.
Yeah, like
I'm a collector. Like I especially Resident Evil, obviously.
Yeah, I want all that shit too. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm getting the disc drive PS5
for like that for like stuff I want hard material, hardware.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. Like I've got a bookshelf full of video games, and like some of it I don't need, but like I've got one whole shelf dedicated to my favorite series. I don't want to not be able to collect that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no shit. It's like I also like the fact that it's like a Blu-ray like / DVD player.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly, and like this 4K Ultra shit.
Yeah.
I still rent movies because I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Like from an actual store.
Yeah.
You still go to Video Stop in town?
Fuck yeah, that's how I watch Guns Akimbo.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes it's fun, you're just walking around, you like go for a walk, like get ice cream or some shit, you're a little bit stoned, and it's like, let's poke our head in there, and you just kind of go, you just pick a movie based on what it looks like, and with Netflix, you just it's bad.
You get the
through
fucking
movie after
trailer.
movie.
There's a blurb about it. Like, I want to look at the. That's how I used to pick a movie. Was
right? You pick up the cardboard sleeve with the styrofoam in it and look at the back, and then you grab the plastic case of the VHS. 3-night rental because it takes that long to watch a goddamn movie, Tyson.
God help if it's like a special release and there was like 2 cassettes and they'd have like the elastic band double case.
Right, holding the cases together.
Well, shit, like we used to always rent like me and my friends on the weekends. We'd rent like old wrestling like pay-per-views, and you get to like a WrestleMania 4 and you're like, oh, there's like 2 cassettes.
Get like 5 hours of fucking brawls.
Yeah, I miss that.
Yeah, like I think Titanic was like that too.
Yeah,
You get,
Titanic
like,
I think was like three friggin' videotapes.
No, it was 2. Just so was Braveheart.
Was it 2? Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, Braveheart was
That movie
it's just
was like
so crazy,
3
man.
hours and some odd. Apocalypse Now was probably.
Probably, yeah.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You'd think, right? Like Jesus.
There was
the new thing is when you get a video game and it's 2 discs. Like I lent the Final Fantasy VII remake to Justin there, and like the installation disc is just like 85 gigabyte installation file.
And I'm doing.
And then there's a disc you got put into play.
A video store in Toronto called Jumbo Video, and they used to have like popcorn machines. You could like mow like a fucking bag of popcorn.
Okay.
Nice.
So we used to go there like it used to be one. We used to just go in there and get the popcorn.
Fair enough.
You guys have Naked Gun? No, fuck it. It's what I wanted.
Like that's another thing.
Self-respecting video store didn't have Naked Gun though. Let's be real.
Yeah, right.
That's going away too, eh? Like except for like mom and pop shops now, probably is like, like a Saturday night going out with a family to rent a movie.
Yeah.
And grabbing some snacks and all this, and like the whole. Come on, kids, get in the car. We're gonna go down and rent a movie, and everyone freaks the shit out and all the rest.
Yeah. Because they have the movie-sized snacks, so it's not like you get the big fucking long Twizzlers and
yeah.
I think that's going to happen in North America before it happens in other places. Even though there's places in the Midwest of the United States where you can't use Netflix because it doesn't stream because the internet's bad.
Yeah.
Or there's places without it, or you go in Australia or New Zealand in particular where you pay exorbitant amounts of money for the internet. You're not streaming stuff. You're not like on a podcast I was listening to. Someone's like, "Yeah, it took 2 days to download Modern Warfare."
Whoa.
Like, because they had like a 50 gig patch, and it's like, well, it's throttled. You don't get that kind of internet speed.
it's crazy.
Like, I don't think it's going to go away that fast.
My brother actually says games take him like a day to download.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I had that cool internet here, I downloaded like 18 gigs in 5 minutes, and then they took it away from me.
Dude, I got an email today that said it was Shaw, and they were like, come download or come upgrade, and it's like $10 more a month, but my speed would go from like 80 megabytes a second download to 750.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
It is awesome.
And I'm like so excited. I'm like, Inga, we can get this internet at 750 megabytes a second download. And she was like, so?
Just yelling out from the bed.
Yeah, I'm like, let's do it. Inga, quick, come here.
Yes.
750 megabytes.
But this is the internet that they gave me. And then they said, oh, that's not available in your area yet, and took it away.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, probably.
Because I had one of those big, like, American Challenge-looking modems.
Yeah.
And it worked for, like, a week. It was awesome. I, like, took pictures of the download speed and was like, suckers.
Yeah, man,
that's super shady.
That would be awesome. I think I'm going to do it. Just, like, you download a 60 gigabyte game and, like, like, if all goes well, it's going to be fucking quick, right? Like,
supposedly.
Yeah. But I mean, that's insane. Like if you told 15-year-old me sitting at his computer in the year 2000 downloading fucking songs at like 2.5 kilobytes a second on Napster, that I'd be downloading shit at 750 megabytes a second in 15 years or 20 years. Like, holy shit. That's crazy.
Right. Like, actually, though.
Yeah, that's astronomical. Like, I remember just going from that on dial-up to whatever the fuck, DSL, whatever came after it. And actually, I think Chris Holmes was at my house when we like set it all up. I think he helped me put the card in the computer too, because I think we had to actually fucking open the computer up and put the card in to make it work. And yeah, that was fucking rad. Just making a phone call without having to get off the internet was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember, I don't know what internet plan we had in Lethbridge, but it would like pop up on the screen as like ignore call or whatever.
Oh yeah. I remember that too. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. As soon as we got DSL, and I don't even know what the fucking speed. It was probably still like astronomically slow, but at least I didn't have to. I remember downloading like a 200 megabyte game, and you'd have to like stop. Like if you wanted to download it overnight, you could get this program. Because if you disconnected your internet, you were fucked. You get this program. I don't remember what it was called, but it would like pause your download for you, so that the next day you could, dial up to the fucking internet when you wake up and start downloading it for a while before school, and then use that program to pause it, and then I would like download a bunch of games that way. Way back when you had to fucking do shit like that. Maybe Chris Holmes. Maybe Chris Holmes will remember the name of that program, but yeah, it's fucking. That was a wild time, man. I guess that's why you needed fucking video stores.
Yeah, but like I like waltzing the aisles of cinema, walking through. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
it's cool. You see what the most popular ones are too in the town. You're like, oh fuck, they're all out. Holy shit, man. You got to rent something else. It's not an infinite number of copies just like waiting to be streamed on your device. Like, you're like, shit, will you call me when it comes in, please? And I'll come down. Yeah.
Right. I don't even get disappointed. I don't even get disappointed. There was like once or twice where I rented a movie there and got home. And then like the next day I'm like, oh, it was free on streaming. So supporting a local business. And I got the pleasure of, renting a film like in the before times.
Yeah, dude, I bet you like since I quit renting movies, because I don't really rent any, because I just stream everything on iTunes now, and like I just rent everything. It takes fucking 2 seconds. I've like, why the fuck? Anyway, like I used to get late charges like out the ass, like so many fucking late charges, because I was just a stoner and lazy, and I didn't want to fucking walk downtown to take the movie back. So I'm like, nah, I forgot. Fuck, I'll do it tomorrow. It's just one day. Ah, fuck, I forgot.
Dude,
anyway,
did you have like a stack of rubber banded free movie rentals at one point in time?
Yeah, I did, because they gave you, every time you paid a late charge, they give you a free movie. So I had like something like $90 in late charges one time, and I was like, ah, fuck, sorry guys. And they were like, well, like got out the fucking cards, started fucking dealing like all these fucking cards out, $90 worth of fucking late charge cards. And I mean, who knows if I ever used them all, but if I did, I'd use it, and then I get fucking 10 more the next late charge. So I think video stopped. Like, I was like, fuck, if that guy ever quits renting movies here, holy shit.
Yeah, they had to start selling skateboards and shit because you stopped renting movies.
Yeah, fucking hell. I'm so glad that place is here too, because I still go there, like all my electronics in town now. But I don't really rent movies because because you don't really need to. I don't know.
So convenient.
Tommy's keeping that place afloat by fucking buying the Hot Wheels.
Yeah,
probably.
Tommy's Hot Wheel budget is fucking off the chart.
You stop buying them Hot Wheels, you'll be able to buy yourself a car.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? No, it's better for me not to have a car, because I'd be less tempted to jump in it and drive
away.
I'm just kidding. I love my family very much.
It's like it's right out there. It's got a full tank of gas.
Yeah, just sitting right there. It's just waiting. I have a key. I can start it.
Yeah, I can get it any time. There's that bag I packed a while back underneath. It's where the spare tire used to be.
I did tell Katie, though, I was like, hey, by the way, we're moving to England as soon as possible. And she's like, why? And I'm like, have you not watched the fucking news in the past, 4 months? Like, there's a killer virus that people don't give a shit about here in North America. This is just cities are on fire. People are taking over towns. Fuck it. I was like, let's get out of here.
It's probably just as bad in England. Have you seen that?
No, dude, I saw their coronavirus numbers compared to so it was Eastern Europe compared to North America, and it's like so this is how it goes. This is North America, and this is Europe. And for those of you who are not watching this, my top hand is going to go up, which is North America, and my bottom hand is going to go right down because Europe is fucking on top of it.
It's censored too, man.
But if you cut off the United States from North America, and then we're like, okay, now look at the numbers, they'd be fucking probably pretty good. Because I think Canada's, I don't know what they got, but
yeah, but we're too close. Because they can just waltz on in here. I want them to be able to have to.
Get on a boat or something. Yeah.
I love the idea of a moat. Every time I watch a medieval movie, and I see a castle with a moat, and I'm like, that's their pig mentality right there.
Well, right now, to keep the fucking Americans out of Canada, apparently you do need a fucking moat because they're too stupid to just do it on their own.
We've got very big sturgeons. Do they bite? Well, they gum at you, but they're very, very big, I assure you.
Fuck.
We've taken them from Manitoba. They're more aggressive than your average sturgeon.
Fuck. Honestly, man. Fucking... Yeah, you can do all you can to keep them out, but if they're going to just lie about it, say they're going to Alaska and then have a fucking holiday, and then all the fucking hotels are like, come on in!
Right?
Sure, we got a room for you. No problem. Yeah. Where are you from? Oh, great. Oh, great. Thanks for coming. Like, fuck off, guys. What are you doing? Fucking, where are you guys from? This looks like a fucking Wisconsin fucking license. Yeah, we're from down. Oh, then fucking go back there. What the fuck are you doing here? Turn around. Get on my hotel.
Go away.
You're fucking not allowed. The borders are closed. Fuck off.
Yeah.
We don't need your fucking shit. Your whole country's going insane.
We have to deal with this for a while. It's going to be like a year. Before there is even a vaccine, if there even is going to be a vaccine.
I think it's
and that's another thing too, because I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter that are like, I'm not getting a fucking vaccine.
That thing. What the fuck, man? Come on.
Because they want to have, they call it herd. What do they call it?
Herd
immunity.
Yeah. So everybody has to fucking get it, but then there's too many flat earth anti-vax idiots out there that enough that the government's have to be like, well, let's talk about this, guys. Meanwhile, everyone's like, give me the fucking vaccine.
Yeah.
I will cough on your children. Give me the vaccine, you son of a bitch.
But no, the government wants to chip your brain, man.
Yeah, well, yeah. Fuck, who cares? Chip my brain. I don't care. What am I doing? Like I said before, with the smart TVs, with the phones watching you, all you're going to be is this guy jerks off a lot for someone who has a wife.
The amount of
That's all you're getting.
The amount of technology people have, everybody knows what everybody's doing anyway.
I don't care because I'm not breaking any laws. You know what I mean? So I don't get. So what are you going to hear? You're going to hear me watching The Simpsons or what are you? Yeah. You're not going to get anything out of me, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
chip my brain. and I love that argument too. If I may, people are like, oh, well, they're going to put a chip on you, and it's like, can I see your phone for a second? And they hand you their smartphone, and you're like, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah, hit them over the head with it because it's like they're already following you, dumbass.
Here's your chip.
Yeah, it's right here, your GPS.
Every time you open one of your stupid apps and there's more advertising, that's them following you and looking at what you
I'm complaining I mentioned the Galapagos Islands and then I got an ad for a travel agency and it's like,
well, yeah.
So what?
Usually if I'm talking about something interesting, I open up Google and it's right there in the predictive search and I'm like, shit, yeah, I don't have to fucking use my thumbs.
I'm not seeing Actually, it does freak me out sometimes. Like if I was watching Apocalypse Now, and I was like, "Oh, who the fuck's that?" Like I'm gonna see who's in it because that kind of looks like this guy. And when I just type like A, and it would be like Apocalypse Now. I'm like,
Yeah.
it doesn't know I'm
Convenient.
watching
I don't
Apocalypse.
mind it at all.
I don't know on your iPhones, but like you can turn that shit off in your Samsung, in your Android.
I'm
Really?
sure you can on the iPhone. I don't know how
Can't
to
be
do it.
fucked. I just don't care.
The only one I want to turn off is the fucking autocorrect that turns fucking into ducking. I'm so annoyed with how often I type the word fucking and how often I have to do it twice because
you don't type it enough because when I say duck, it autocorrects the fuck.
Oh wow, that's
like if you go back through like the podcast fucking WhatsApp chat there, I'm pretty sure there's like a few duckings that I didn't notice or something. Because I mean, fuck, I say it and I write it a lot, and it fucking annoys me that it autocorrects like that. So if I could change it, I would. But
just turn off autocorrect.
Yeah, but like, does it do it for? I don't want to do it for everything. I just want to do it for the shit I swear on all the time.
Just start writing ducking and it'll fucking creative for you.
Yeah.
Start swearing in everything or stop swearing in some things.
It's quite a trade-off here. Yeah, fucking iPhone.
But yeah, no, it's like, the whole fucking watching thing. It's like, get over yourselves. You're not that fucking important, right?
Yeah,
When
right.
you El Chapo,
Yeah.
you fucking worry that people are listening on your
Yeah.
cocaine ring that you're running in Bolivia? No, they're not, you idiot.
Like there's a thing in my house. There's 2 speakers in my house that are connected to the fucking Amazon that fucking know everything I'm saying all the
Dude,
fucking
Jeff Bezos knows everything about you.
Google, we have a Google Home, and that thing's probably just like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Like,
this guy's fucking, what the fuck are they doing? Like, he's just swearing at a game, it sounds like.
Yeah, I don't hear
swearing.
any other voices. This guy's clearly a loony.
Why is he yelling about the Oilers all of the time?
Like, I just hear like synthwave techno music and fucking clicking on a joystick and a guy saying fucking piece of shit once in a while.
Oh fuck. I love that shit too. I love hearing people complain about like, oh fuck, was talking about cartoons, was looking at for fucking on my fucking phone. Stop listening to me. And it's like, fuck out of here. Like, what's it be you?
Dude, my Google Nest just started making noises.
I'm not no word of a lie. I was sitting here and my fucking Google Home, I swear to God, it was just me. I had my headphones in. I took them off to go to the bathroom. I come back and it said something weird. It was like, it was like, that doesn't make sense. Is what it said. And I was like, what was that?
Are you missing the context here, Google? Because it made sense to me.
Yeah, dude. There's been a couple of times.
If you ask it something and it doesn't know, it's just like, I'm sorry, I couldn't reach that information. This was just like a straight up like, that doesn't make sense. It's like that. Now it's probably like fucking like, what's gonna do you tonight, motherfucker?
Well, Shannon says a lot of things that I think that the PlayStation thinks is PlayStation, because we'll be watching a movie and then all of a sudden the little voice indicator in the corner will come up and it'll get all quiet and it's just like,
I hate when that happens.
Right? See, it doesn't listen to me. I'll be like, hey, PlayStation, start Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it'll be like nothing, crickets. Shannon will be like, hey, Sid, and it's like, what would you like to do?
Nice.
Dude, yeah, my Alexa too. Like I think once or twice, it's just been like, no, and I'm like, what?
So weird. It's so weird. No, like it's like, fucking no. How? Like, I'm sorry, Tyson, I can't do that.
Yeah, like it's not one of those. And like Alexa gets a lot of flack from me too, because I'll be like, Alexa, play like Rush, and they'll be like, we can't find Rush in Amazon Music. I'm like, well, then play it on the fucking Apple Music, the thing you played music on yesterday, Alexa. And she's like, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. And I'm like, fuck Alexa.
See, it's weird. I got an email from YouTube that said, "Hey, we're gonna send you this free Google Nest for being a YouTube person for so long." And I was like, "All right, cool." Got it, and like I've got a Google Play Music subscription, and now that's the same as YouTube. So this thing will just like play whatever the fuck I want anytime. It's kind of weird though, and the fact that they just emailed me and sent it to me for free is also weird.
Yeah, it's because and you like took it happily. You were like fucking sweet,
It's
just like I would.
I probably will never use this, but it's a free thing that's $70 usually, so I'll take it.
Who sent that to you? YouTube?
YouTube. They said, for your continued patronage of our website, blah, 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 we're offering you a free Google Nest. And I was just like, all right, sure, why the fuck not?
Dude, the things are awesome if you hook them up to, like, if you buy some smart lights and smart plugs and like fucking RGB shit, you can just be like, hey Alexa, turn this on, and it fucking click click click, all the shit in your house goes on, and like it's hooked up to my TV, so if I want to turn the TV off, I just tell. And because like you turn the TV off, I'm like, no fucking problem. Hey Alexa,
watch this.
that there's so like Hideo Kojima, when he made Metal Gear Solid, he has Psycho Mantis kind of read your save file.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but if you've like played Castlevania or whatever and you have it on that memory card, he'll be like, you have played Castlevania and all that fourth wall shit, right? Like Kojima loves that shit. So allegedly the plans for the Silent Hills game was that you could opt into this function and it would tap into your smart lights or smart whatever the hell you have in your house and fuck with your lights and shit while you're playing the game.
That's awesome.
Right? How would that not? You're sitting there just like, holy fuck, this is spooky. Walking down a hall, the light flickers, your lights flicker. You're just like, the fuck?
That's fucked up.
Oh, man, it would be
I don't know
amazing.
if I like that.
In the game, like you're walking down a hallway in the game where the lights are flickering and like all around you is like flick, 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 flick.
Yeah, it'll fuck with your smart shit.
Yeah, that's awesome. Dude, there's some people like, you know, like I've been like looking at all those battle stations where people have like these fucking huge gaming setups with all this cool shit. Like some people have it like all their RGB lights like around their desk are rigged up and like you can hook it up to the game that you're playing. Like some games, like so it will be like your HUD. It'll be like your health and your ammo and like it'll be different colors. Yeah. And as you're getting killed, like your red lights will start dimming on like the left side of your desk, and like as your ammo goes up and down, it like it's just fucking cool. That
I like there's games that use the controller light like that for health, like the Resident Evil games, a lot of them. I don't know if any of you ever played a Dreamcast, but like I had one, and the virtual memory units, the memory cards had a little LCD display, right? And like some games like you could download games onto it and play games on your memory card that would unlock shit in the game. But they put out Resident Evil Code Veronica on there, so you had a constant health display just on your controller. And it's just like, the shit like that's cool. I dig that kind of stuff. Like I've got my 2DS, and like, you know, I'm playing the Resident Evil DS game, and the second screen is your map, and it's always up, and it always just kind of, you can look up and see where you're at. It's cool. I like actual HUDs.
Yeah, it would be neat just to like, I don't know. It's just so the realism is just there. Then like every time you're getting shot, like the lights are like, they are like the bright red, and then they start going, you know.
It'd be fun, awesome. Man, full on immersion. Like you're there. You know, like the step as far as you can get without putting on a fucking VR headset, right?
Yeah, yeah. And even that shit is fucking so rad. I like that. When they go down in price, I'm gonna get one because it's so fucking awesome.
Right? Like I'm stoked I got such a deal on mine, man. Like a buddy of mine won it at a hockey tourney and sold it to me for peanuts.
What about VR?
Literal peanuts.
Speaking of VR, there's a new Star Wars game coming out, Star Wars Squadrons, and you can play that shit in VR.
Yeah, dude.
A TIE fighter or an X-Wing in VR. You can destroy the Death Star in VR. Sign me up for that shit.
I bet you it's so fucking rad too. Like when you turn your head, like you see all around space and everything. Like
I've got Ace Combat 7 and it works on VR and it's fucking awesome.
Is it fun? Yeah.
Dude, you look around the cockpit while you're flying like an F-22 Raptor or some shit. It's dope.
That's dope.
I think
want Call of Duty like that. I want virtual reality Call of Duty.
Dude, I have
where you're like looking
games.
around.
We can get together and play it. It's not Call of Duty, but I've got like a fucking war VR game.
Yeah, there's a war VR game too.
There's a lot of them, but like I've got one. It was a PS Plus game a while back. We talked about after quarantine getting together and doing that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, like, yeah, the four of us should get together on a weekend so we can drink.
Man, I could not handle a Call of Duty fucking VR game. I would
It would-
have.
Oh, fuck, dude.
I would get motion. I would get motion sick from all this. I think.
You need
I get
you know what?
boner
You should get the little
sickness from lots of
bracelets.
blood in my head.
Get the little bracelets.
What bracelets?
There's like motion sickness bracelets that just put pressure on your wrist.
Yeah.
They work for motion sickness. Apparently, they work in VR if you experience it as well. I have yet to test it out. The last week I was drunk and I bought like the maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I bought the Walking Dead VR and I was just like, why am I doing this drunk? I can't handle this. And then I was on Twitter a few days after and someone's like, I can finally play VR, man. I found the cure. And like, yeah, apparently just any sort of motion sickness thing will help
how
you.
does that work? Like, how does the technology? Does it just slow your like pulse down? Or
Yeah, I don't know. I thought
Probably
it was
just gives you
bullshit, but
just
It
something with your senses, probably for your brain.
well,
Like, your
my
brain
ex got bad
senses-
motion sickness on the ferry even, and I'm like, you can feel this moving? It's just like, it doesn't feel like it's moving.
Yeah, it's. I don't
But
really
yeah,
get it,
she
but
gets
like,
super sick with it. But she put on these little silly bracelets.
can
yeah, but if
Sure.
you're not moving, but your brain thinks you're moving, it just fucks with me.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't motion sickness like on boats and stuff from your brain thinking you shouldn't be moving, but you are?
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. That doesn't bother me.
Well, you should try it out. Maybe it'll work for you.
Maybe it'll work, yeah. Because that stuff is fucking awesome. And I don't mind like the looking around, but even remember when we were playing the one where you go on the cart
Yeah.
at your house? That I had to like that was fucking weirding me out.
Oh,
when we were in
that big hill is kind of like my stomach drops out,
Mm.
and I don't get that on actual roller coasters.
Yeah, I could see the roller coaster being pretty intense.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's fun.
Fucking VR, man. I
Yeah,
love it.
I'm super hot and drunken bar fight. Hell yeah.
Drunken bar fight. Oh fuck. Yeah, so many like it's like when the iPhone first came out when you just had a whole bunch of novelty shit in the app
The
store.
Chug a Beer app and shit.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
like the Zippo and like the lightsabers and all this and
Oh,
iPhones. Yeah.
dude, Tyson had like the first of our group to have a smartphone, and he just had all the inane shit on there.
It was just none of it was worth a shit. It was all just dumb. Yeah, I was fucking check this out, and everyone was like, "Holy fuck, that's awesome!" And like,
Oh,
You
you're
got a light
waving
on
your
your phone and
phone
it
and
makes
it's
lightsaber
making...
noises.
Okay.
yeah, and I was like, no, and I was like, hey, look at this, and like pretend to drink a beer, and it would pour out, and it was like mind blowing to people from 2011, right?
Oh.
Yeah, or
Dude,
whatever
it blew
year.
your mind for like 3 years.
Dude, that's fucking amazing. That's fucking amazing, man. And like the Zippo too, like when you blew on the speaker, the flame would flicker.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty fucking cool.
It's like smoking cigarettes in that VR game.
Oh yeah.
there
Yeah.
is technology's fucking cool, man.
Yeah,
It's fucking
buddy.
It is.
Fucking-
It is cool. It's a little frightening.
I just need a neuro cannula so I don't even have to exist in this plane anymore.
What?
Yeah.
Let me just jack right into the interwebs. Just
Yeah.
Nah, it's just like fucking Ready Player One, man. Like just fucking put the headset on and go exist in like a like an omnidirectional treadmill.
20
with like
years.
a force
dude. 20
force
years,
feedback kinetic suit that fucking has all this haptic, like zillions of haptic little things in it. And
Tyson, you should really read the Otherland series. I think you'd dig it a lot.
okay, the other land.
It's so good. There's 4 books. It's awesome. It's super good.
I do like the idea of lots of books.
These are big long epics about like I talked about on the pod before about like
Yeah,
this cabal of rich dudes stealing the essences of people to test their theory of like that transference kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Super good
Wow.
book. And speaking
What
of
else?
that Apocalypse Now stuff, Daniels is reading a pretty cool book.
What do
I
you?
am. It's called Tiger Forest. And not for kids. Not for kids at all. It's about Tiger Forest. They were just a bunch of Well, they were just slap-happy murderers. That's
Yeah,
what these guys were.
They were a reconnaissance team for like the 101st Airborne Division, and they basically had like a no fire zone means you can fire all you want kind of mentality. So they went in and just mowed people down.
Was this
Isn't
during
that something? It's like,
what-
oh yeah, we're in the demilitarized zone, and it's like that's like the worst spot to be.
Yeah. Like you know, like there's always I think in Universal Soldier they had a scene where Jean-Claude Van Damme's rival was like wearing ears and killing kids in Vietnam.
Oh yeah,
And that was
totally.
real.
Dolph Lundgren does that for sure.
That was real.
Yeah.
Like that war crimes investigation lasted till the like mid 70s, I think.
Oh, I could see that for sure.
And
Yeah,
it
this
was
book-
grotesque.
I'm 43 pages in, and it was like,
You're already in the shit.
buddy, you're in the shit from like page 1 of like the fucking prologue, dude.
Jeez.
Like,
Yeah, the dude just drowning puppies because they're noisy, but he's not killing them. He's drowning them and then pulling them out, and then drowning them and then pulling them out because they're noisy.
Jesus. Whoa.
Like,
that's
they went
crazy.
around and picked people with like violent criminal histories and just fed them like drugs and bullets.
it's kind of like the Dirty Dozen,
Mhm.
but there's more than a dozen of them, and it's not. It's
Like
not
half
like
of them are all,
happy-go-lucky. Like
half of them
you're
are
not-
all skin and bones, haven't slept in days, just
Yeah.
like hopped up
Fucked
on
up on-
amphetamines from the government.
Dextrin and shit like that, and fucking and it's a good book for me because I have like when I'm reading, like I still have like a very active imagination when I'm reading something.
Yeah.
So it's just like when I'm reading something like this, like I'm just gonna be like, it's just like watching a movie for me.
Well, that book's good too because it's like dramatized history.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they tell it like a story, but it's like a journalistic.
Mhm.
Like this is what happened. They go with like the people investigating the war crimes and like interviews with these soldiers from the CIB as well as the journalist who wrote the book.
Yeah.
And like it's written like a storybook except it's all facts. It's heavy, crazy, and like well written and a good read.
It's fucking heavy, all right.
Yeah.
So,
Dude.
so is it like real people and real accounts, but told
Yes.
like, in
Yeah.
a fictional way?
Yeah, it's
These
told
guys.
with the
Sorry.
narrative.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're reading. I mean, it reads. It's kind of reading like a Tom Clancy to me, like right now.
Okay.
And he was, he writes like, he wrote like fucking like Rainbow Six and fucking, Sum of All Fears and all that. So yeah, it's like I say, I'm 43 pages in, and you gave me The Last of Us, and I've been kind of trying to like, well, I want to get through this game, but I want to read. Like I was playing the game the other day, and I was just like looking at the book, and I was like, all right, like.
Right, dude, like here's two things that are gonna fuck with you and make you probably a little depressed.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Right? But
Yeah,
no, like dude,
exactly.
I read I kind of reread that book, like speed read it before letting it to you. So I read it in a couple days, but just didn't absorb it just to kind of get reminded and like, yeah, man. It's good. It's good.
It's
But, yeah,
fucked.
I like
It's
kind of
fucked.
narrative driven history though, right? You're not
Yeah,
reading
yeah,
a
yeah.
textbook.
Yeah.
Dude, it's exactly
feels-
the kind of book I'd expect you to like, Sid. That's what
Well,
it sounds like to me.
It's not as fucked up as like most of the fiction books are.
Okay, well, drowning puppies over and over for funsies isn't that fucked up, man.
Collecting
Holy shit.
years and yeah. It's just different because it happened.
There's two sides to every story, Tyson.
Yeah,
Terrible.
but like if you were to like look up any of the names like Yubara and stuff, they're dudes that were
They're the real people.
most of those dudes that were in Tiger Force left the army so they couldn't be charged with war crimes because apparently that's a thing.
Yeah. Yes.
But like, ugh, man,
Yeah, these guys would have needed like a full-on like we're talking like a Nuremberg fucking level of fucking like
It was that bad, eh?
They'd go in and just mow down villages.
Fuck.
like I flip through pages and you see like the young boy, like you see that like a lot, like, and it's like, oh Jesus Christ, like
The first time they start like collecting the ears is weird because it's just like it just starts happening. They're just like collecting trophies from farmers.
yeah, there's a thin line in war between like, you know, the like reality and like complacency.
Yeah,
Almost, yeah, and especially I've read a lot of books about Vietnam, and this one definitely is probably going to make like top 3. I'm telling you right now, from 43 pages in.
yeah. Well, dude, even the commanding officers were just like, "This is your job. This is what you do. Here's some meth and an M16."
Like everything I know about about the Vietnam War, and specifically like the My Lai massacre, it's like, where the fuck were these guys?
They
The
were
My
all
Lai massacre
slaughtering
happens, and
villages.
people are like, but then like you start reading this, and you're like, that was like nothing. These guys are like doing. It's like it's like 7 people getting killed, and then like comparing that to like 9/11.
Right? It's legit, man. Like all the
Crazy.
the war crimes. There was like little ones. Even the dude that works for the CIB that's that they talk to and talk about, just like, yeah. And then we investigated this one thing about a farmer being killed, and then the document just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it's just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So
War
yeah, no,
crimes,
I'm
But if people are already like that, and then get the license to be those kind of monsters,
yeah.
he was VC. He was an old farmer. They're all VC, and the only good VC is a dead VC. Oh man,
What's the line from fuck? Is it what's the Kubrick one?
oh, Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket, and they're on the fucking helicopter, and he's like, if they're running, they're a VC. If they're standing still, they're a well-disciplined VC. And he's like hanging out the window, like, get some.
Yeah,
Get
just
some.
shooting
And you
into
see
the
like
fucking
people
rice
running
paddies.
away, and they're falling. And you're like, it's kind of funny. Like I now I watch that, I'm like, like what a knucklehead. But you know, there was like that's some real shit. Like
Yeah, dude,
definitely real shit.
that was
Like,
Vietnam,
Yeah.
man.
fuck, what the Wild West, dude. It's such an interesting period of history.
I think you gotta like have like one term. If you're gonna go to like a war zone, you have to have like one term and then you're done. Like you can't. Your brain just can't comprehend doing that over and over and over. Like
No, people do multiple tours and come out fine. They were selecting violent aggressors for this unit.
oh, are they okay?
Yeah, it was like picture like Inglorious Bastards, like something like that. Like
Yeah,
Okay.
where
Like-
they're picking particulars.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
like I like the guy Hugo Schultz and my that fucking dude or Stiglitz, Hugo Stiglitz. They busted him out of jail. Like that guy was a straight up like fucking killer, like ice cold killer.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Fuck.
I don't know, man. Like, yeah, that like yeah, I can't like fathom the mentality of being able to do like that kind of stuff.
well, you
There's
do
those
it because
people
you
who
have
come
to for
out-
most of them.
Yeah.
My absolute favorite book is it's called A Rumor of War, and it's by Philip Caputo, and he was a lieutenant with he was with the first set of Marines that went over. Like he was like their first,
Okay.
pretty much, and they went through kind of like a smaller scale My Lai massacre where like innocent people were murdered and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
and he came out of it. He's I'm sure the guy has fucking like nightmares and shit. Drop like a heavy book. The guy's like, oh.
Yeah.
But he's a writer. I believe he worked for the Washington Post as well for many years.
Okay.
I mean, it's fun, and you have to realize like like guys who fought like in World War II, it's a totally different animal from what you're doing like now. Like those guys were fighting people in uniforms, like you knew who the fuck you were fighting.
Yeah.
Now it's just like everyone's wearing like fucking street clothes and shit. You don't know who the fuck.
It's true, man.
But yeah, fuck, this book is like I say, I'm 43 pages in, and I was just like, you turn the page.
How big?
What the fuck?
Is it like a long, thick book?
It's like that.
You're hoping it's long and thick, aren't you, Wheels?
Oh. Thanks for joining the conversation there.
It's the actual book is with the epilogue and the introduction is 322 pages.
That's fine.
So that's that's not bad.
That's an average size book, yeah.
Yeah.
I started well, not reading. I started listening to a Graham Hancock book this week called Fingerprints of the Gods.
Oh yeah, nice, yeah.
You read that book? I thought you'd read that book for sure. Yeah, that Graham Hancock guy is super interesting. I'm like 5 chapters into that one.
Is that that's the first one, or is like Pillars of the God? I think is the second one.
Yeah, it's the first one. He's talking about like the Nazca lines, and
Yeah,
he's kind of doing like a background right now.
Some of what he speaks about in that book was scientifically disproven.
Oh, I'm sure. It was. Yeah,
But he gets like lambasted a lot for being wrong about stuff. But
Yeah.
people seem to forget he's not a scientist; he's a fucking journalist.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
He's one of the guys who was on that Rogan podcast we were
Yeah,
talking about.
dude.
Yeah.
He does it with that geologist dude, and it's like 4 or 5 hours sometimes.
Yeah,
And it's so goddamn good. He talks about like Gobekli Tepe and stuff a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go back to the techie.
Yeah,
Never
Graham
say that
Hancock's good.
he's very good. So, yeah, I started
it's so
that
cool thinking about like the concepts of ancient civilizations.
Absolutely, and that's true that it has been disproven. But like,
parts of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what parts. I'm not that invested.
no, I'm not entirely sure what parts have been disproven either. But like, it's entirely possible that his general theory of people being around before 13,800 BC is completely true.
Right?
And they were just advanced, but then something happened and they were wiped off the face of the earth, and we basically friggin' started from scratch as like a people.
Yeah, and like the few survivors are aware of like the technology and the ability, but without like the actual hands-on know-how.
Yeah.
Is that like what? Like they build these monolithic structures that we now would have to use like cranes and equipment to lift and put in place. And then like there's one, I think it is that Gobekli Tepe, I think, where they actually like buried the structure, like hid it away. And like, man, that happened. I can't recall.
9,000 years ago or something.
Yeah.
I think that's like the oldest recorded man-made structure was like 9,000 years ago. Yeah.
It's super cool to think about like societies and language and religion and all these concepts from so far back. Like even thinking back to like the 1300s or
even if you went back that far, like people are like, what would you do if you got transported back to 1300 to like get super rich and all this? And you'd be like, fucking nut, because no one understand a fucking thing I'm saying, and I wouldn't understand them at all. Like it would just be nonsense on both sides.
I'd have gigantic sideburns.
Yeah, you'd be a fucking witch, and they'd goddamn try you or kill you.
Yeah, if you went back, you'd be burned at the stake.
Yeah, I'd be like, fucking check it out. I'm gonna take a picture of this. They'd be like, he's a witch. And that would be it.
I'm picturing that scene in fucking Bill and Ted where they show up in the fucking phone booth and everyone's like looking at them like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like there's one of the Far Cry games, Far Cry Primal. Every time I played that game, like I don't know, man. I just sunk into it. It's so cool because you're a caveman.
Yeah.
Like you're 10,000 BC or some shit that you're existing in, and you're in this small tribe, and you're trying to find like the promised land kind of thing, and you like saber-toothed tigers, and you're hunting with spears and bows and using rock tools and stuff. And it's just, I don't know, man. Every time I played that game, I just get lost in thinking about what it was like for peoples that long ago.
Horizon Zero Dawn is kind of similar to that, except like the dinosaurs are like machines. But it
Yeah,
is
it's like
Do you mean
postmodern,
Zero?
right?
Do you mean Horizon, or are you talking about Ark?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Because it sounds more like he's talking about Ark Survival.
Oh, I see. I haven't played that.
That fucking game's. I bought it. I was telling my buddy because I watched someone on Twitch playing Horizon, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like fucking, like mechanized dinosaurs and all that, and blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, well, you like dinosaurs? Well, you should play this Ark Survival game. And so I was like, I was looking at the two games, and I was like, well, all right, I'll buy this Ark game. He says the dinosaurs are better. Bullshit. I could not. I survived for maybe 5 minutes.
Dude, like Hambone was all about that game, and she's like, "It's good if you put 20 hours into it."
Yeah, because once it gets dark, first of all, I'm always freezing to death, and then it's like, and then I can never find enough food to eat, and then I don't have shelter, and then God help me when nighttime comes, it's like that's it. So,
you're fucked.
Yeah.
If I had to live as a caveman, I'd be dead in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Hardcore survival games are, I don't know, man. I enjoy aspects of them put into normal games, but I play a game to play a game. Yeah. I don't want to play a game where I'm like, oh no, man, I'm dehydrated after 30 minutes of digging a hole. I better find water.
I do not like that shit.
Man, I think you can die of disease in Ark Survival. If you shit yourself, you can die.
Probably. Fuck, that game is so ridiculous.
Crazy.
If I had the hard copy shit, I'd give it to you. I wish I could give it to you.
To be honest, I have a bad habit of seeing sales where games are 80% off and buying them. I think I may have bought Ark for $5 or $6.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that. Yeah, so that's about what that game is worth.
I think that game was free, recently too.
I paid fucking $90 for that. Shit, I should have bought Horizon.
I bought Horizon, dude.
Because I ended up playing Horizon because I borrowed it off a friend and I was like, I'm never playing Ark again.
Yeah, Justin let me Horizon. I haven't dipped into it yet, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, you can mod the fuck out of Skyrim like that too. You can fucking put all these mods on Skyrim to make it you have to eat, you have to drink, and you freeze if you don't have the proper clothes on and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you are you can, I don't know, for some reason people are looking for all this shit, and I guess to each their own, but it's just not my cup of tea either to have to eat all the fucking time.
Super into this.
I mean, there's shit like that in Red Dead. But it's not to that scale.
Well, it's not the game. Ooh, you didn't eat for 3 days at the camp stew. You're fucking dead.
They don't make it a necessity, and that's the thing. I don't know, man. The concept of a survival game is cool, and some games I can play super meticulously. The last time when I just went through The Last of Us again, I was using my headphones so I could hear enemies and trying to do everything without ever being detected and getting right into it. But I want that sometimes, if I'm going to play a game where I have to be constantly monitoring all that shit, I'm just it gets in the way of fun. It's just not fun for me. It's like Tyson in Sim City.
Yeah,
that dude's sitting there fucking laying out infrastructure, and he's just this is fucking sick. I'm playing cities or skylines and just being yeah, this is cool. I don't have to worry about plumbing and electrical too much. Oh no, the electrical's down in this area. I'll just build another power plant. Problem solved. I like basic sim shit.
This is fucking rad.
Dude, look at this fucking, I'm doing 12-inch water lines, man. This place is going to be my fucking metropolis. This is my downtown core, for sure.
Metropolis.
Dude, I did find myself running the pipes in that game, under the roads whenever I did it, because it was realistic. And then I'm like,
yeah, that way you can
yeah.
close off busy thoroughfares for people when a
Yeah,
water
and I'm
main
like-
bursts because it wasn't buried deep enough in the cross line.
And
Monster.
and then I'm like, it's fucking way easier just to like drag a bunch of water lines randomly across the fucking map, and then it's fucking done. And, yeah, fucking city builders are rad. It's probably one of my favorite kinds of games, actually.
See, I enjoy games like that when I'm playing them with someone because at least there's like banter.
Yeah.
You don't enjoy the smooth jazz music? Well, I guess there isn't any in Skylines, but you know, SimCity, the smooth jazz.
But like,
While
you
you're
know,
fucking building the mayor's house, they're demolishing some historical buildings to build the mayor's house downtown.
like I had the most fun
Fuck
playing
these
Stardew
guys.
Valley when you and I played Stardew Valley for 5 straight hours because it's like sick. All right, I'm being productive with a homie. This is sweet.
Yeah, dude, that was a lot of fun. We should do that again one of these days.
Yeah, when you can get back in the living room.
Yeah. Actually, I thought about putting my PlayStation in here, and I'm like, there's a lot of cords. I got it all rigged up on my desk, so
Yeah,
it's like fucking shit everywhere.
at least you got the Vita.
Yeah, at least I beat Hotline Miami for the 15th fucking time. Maybe I'll
got
play
Dead
some Dead
Nation.
Nation. Maybe I'll play
I-
Dead Nation now.
I can bring you back your 3DS too.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, maybe you should do that one of these days. Maybe like tomorrow.
Hey Tyson, is the wall in that room, is that like all Bruce's awesome art in the back there?
Sure is.
That's pretty wicked.
I think some of it's Iron Man or something.
Oh, cool.
There's
Should
one
have
really
done
sweet.
this entire. But I was just we should have done this entire episode from our bedrooms. We had a little
Yeah, that's-
slumber party.
So we'll, hey, see you guys
If
in
I
the
play my
morning.
cards right, the living room is my bedroom.
I certainly hear that.
So is Inga sleeping on the like couch or is she sleeping
Yeah,
on Bruce?
yeah, she's sleeping on the couch.
I'd ride that out for her. Like I'd milk it.
I know.
Oh, I feeling better. I could risk it, but
I got a little sniffle.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. As soon as I get that negative fucking phone call, I'm fucking like a slingshot out of here. Fucking,
like you're running a Wheels Place for chicken.
oh, fuck it, yeah. It's like John just showed up and he wants to slather some chicken in Cajun spices and show me his ways. I'm like, holy shit, I'll bring the garlic butter, man. I'm on the way.
But
There we go.
Fucking, there goes fucking lightning quick. There's no way he's sick. Holy shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Fucking
man.
seriously, we should do a cookout next time. Next pod night out, maybe we do a cookout. Ah,
Well, I was thinking that, man. Like, we should just go out and barbecue somewhere and like have the fam jams.
yeah, we
like a
can
pod night out.
Like, yeah, fucking like go out to Sixth Bridge and have a fire and some food out there or something like that. Like,
That's not really a pod night out, though. That's like a excursion.
yeah, I know, but like, we could include other people every once in a while. I think it'd be good for the women folk.
Oh now we're
Oh.
including
Are
people.
other people?
Pod.
Because from where I'm sitting, us 4 contribute to the pod. So
Sorry,
All I get
Tommy,
is-
no burgers for you. You're not on the show.
all I get is
Yeah,
flack.
you're right.
about
Sorry,
this
what was I
pod, yeah.
thinking? Fuck the kids.
Yeah, right? 'Cause that's what you're getting, but you're getting kids. You want the whole
Too
fan
bad.
jam out there.
Yeah.
Hey, other people's kids are awesome because if they get shitty, I can just not deal with them.
Touche.
To that.
Well played, sir.
That becomes your problem.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Come
dude,
on,
well,
Eric, you know how I dealt with Tommy when I first held him? He screamed in my face. I screamed right back. Did not
Yep.
go on.
It's very true.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay.
I
I think
tried
that-
talking to him like an adult, but he just wasn't having it.
He was more so like me back then because it's like, a different person, like an unknown person. You're like, fuck out of my face.
Who the
Right?
fuck are you? Who are you? Yeah.
This asshole.
Though
Dude.
Bruce just fell asleep in my arms, and I was like, "Oh, I'm a little dude."
Yeah, you did. Daniels, your son's so funny, man. When we were having like a social distance beer when you were up on your balcony and I was standing in the alley, and then Tommy was there, and then like these people showed up, I think to like be your beer delivery or something, and then Tommy's like, "Hey, you guys, come on up to my house."
Yeah.
You're like, "Tommy, sorry, people can't come in right now. It's it's like the big sick going on." And he's like, "Aw."
Yeah.
And like a little while, a little while later, like they were like, "Okay, Tom, see you later." He's like, "Oh, where are you guys going? You should come into my house and we'll play."
Yeah, he does it to everybody. He does it to TJ all the time, and he's like, he starts to be coy about it now too, and he's like, "You wanna come inside my house?" I'm like, you are a fucking kidnap waiting to happen, but I gotta fucking watch out for him. Apparently, my brother was like just like that. I was talking to my dad, and whereas I was more shy and like reserved, like my brother would just be like, fucking, he'd go up to anyone and everyone, like, "Hey, hi, how are you?" Like, he's like, you know, it doesn't even have to be a mention of candy. You open up a fucking car door, he's probably gonna jump in. Fucking he's gonna be like, "Oh, all right, let's go."
Yeah.
Daddy's doing adult stuff. I'm out.
Yeah, he's so funny. Like my upstairs neighbors can be kind of like loud, like at some points. And I remember like I saw like they have like family come in like all the time, and they got like with their kid. I swear to God, like if the kid doesn't turn out to be like an Olympic sprinter, it's a sin. It's just this kid is just like, oh, and it goes to like 11 o'clock at night. This kid is running around, and I'm like, fuck. So I was like, so I saw like, you know, the car pulling up, and like under my breath in one of those moments where like I shouldn't have said anything, I'm like, oh great, like here we go. So Tom, noticing, you know, like, oh, Dad's like what's bothering Dad? The people get out of the car. He starts going like, "Get out of here, people! Oh, get out of here!" I'm like, "No, oh, no!" And I'm like bringing him inside. He's like turning his head, like, "Get out of here, you guys! You're waking my daddy up!" Like, I'm like, "No, no." Tommy, it's like the one time where like I hesitated. I was gonna be like, "Shut the fuck up!" That shit. There's so many different levels of like how bad this fucking is. Like, oh, get out of here! Get out of here! You're waking my daddy up. Like, fucking. Oh, I love that kid. So it's never a dull moment with that guy. I love him.
Fucking kids, man. They just say shit sometimes.
We got him registered for school, and I guess we have to have like a meeting because there might be like some, you know, they're only going to let like a certain number in, apparently.
Yeah, of course.
So like I was telling my dad, I was like, yeah, we got, you know, Tommy all like lined up for school, and he's like, oh. He's like, "You're going to cry your eyes out when that kid's walking in that door," and be like, "Yeah, I'd be crying because I just got my fucking freedom back." It's the only tears I'm crying. He just starts cracking up and fucking, oh, he's trying to be all serious and like that, you know, oh, you know, it's never going to be the same. And I'm like, yeah, I know. You have to play fucking video games during the day again. Yeah. Awesome. Like,
I'm gonna go back to bed in about 10 minutes. Here.
Yeah, seriously.
Drop him off to school, go back to bed. Yeah.
That kid is gonna be an hour early for school. Every day, that kid's gonna be an hour early for school.
Yeah.
Tom, you're such a go-getter. Yeah, no, my dad's a fucking idiot, stoner moron. What's going on there? This is my ticket out of here, sweetheart. So let's make some learning.
Yeah, learn.
But no, it's awesome. No, it's cool. Like 4 years old. It's gonna be 4 years old. Like,
yeah, that's fucking crazy, man.
That's nuts.
Like less than a month. It's crazy.
Jesus, fucking kids.
Hopefully the outside times have started up again. Like,
well, I mean, it's, you know, because we're in Jasper, so, you know, I've been taking him to the school park and all that. And,
yeah.
You know, he's all right. I want to get him together with like Brucey and shit. You know, it's funny because Inga dropped off like some stuff, and you know, she's like, oh, you know, we have to get these kids together, and I'm like, yeah, like we got to get and talk. You know, I told him about like the Ninja Turtles that you have.
Yeah.
All pumped, and I was gonna message you like the next day, and then. So, oh fuck, boys, I got the sniffles. I'm like, well,
I got the sniffles, boys. Shit. It's not just having the sniffles anymore. It's like, fuck, you got the sniffles. Fucking, well, you're not going outside now. You're just,
Yeah, that's so fucked. It's like,
yeah,
well, I got a sore throat. I guess I got to shut down for fucking 2 weeks. I guess.
yeah. You know, or like at least, yeah, like, fuck, I got a sore throat. I got to go down to the fucking, get the swab now.
I'm gonna
you know?
sit in my car and get a fucking swab. That's where we're at.
Yeah, from somebody all decked out in like a big fucking face shield and everything. Eh?
Fucking
Oh, yeah.
hazmat suit.
Yeah,
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is coming out to give you a
yeah, fuck. And then they're like at least they could tell you, like, you know, like just like shake the thing, it's like fucking turn red, you got COVID, or you know, it turned blue.
Yeah,
you're good,
yeah,
or,
yeah.
you know, like,
Yeah.
and then you're like, fucking thanks, sweet, and then you fucking go. It's not deadly. You're fine. But no, it's like it's gonna be about 5 days, and you're like, well, what if I'm negative? Well, it doesn't matter. You're gonna just in case.
Yeah.
You're gonna stay away from your family.
Yeah.
You know? The doc was like, use a different bathroom. I was like, I only have one bathroom, man. Like, where am I gonna go?
Get a bucket.
Have you?
Yeah, he just gives you a jug. Like, there you go. That's your bathroom now.
Yeah, so yeah, fuck, you got the sniffles, you got a little sore throat. Well, fucking looks like you're watching Apocalypse now.
What if I have to poop, doctor? And he just like shakes his head.
Yeah,
That's over now. It's over now.
no.
There's no shitting in COVID times, buddy.
Yeah, you can't even go to the kitchen to get your own food right now. So. Fucking Jesus Christ.
But what are you gonna do with that hoard of more toilet paper than any human would ever need?
Yeah, right? Yeah. There are people who probably fucking hoarded up on fucking toilet paper back in like March that still have that shit. Like,
Oh yeah.
It's such a weird thing to like. There's options, man.
yeah. Yeah, most bathrooms these days have showers right in them.
Right? I still think it's kind of weird that like rubbing some dry paper on her ass makes it clean.
It's a little
Yeah, it
weird.
doesn't, I mean, the bidet is, I don't know if you've ever used the bidet, but
These are rad.
Dude, yeah, but only Evian water, and I just can't afford that right now.
straight grain vodka for me, buddy. Clean that shit up.
So you just butt chug every time you shit? That's what's happening?
Just get her into you, man, and by any means necessary.
Dude, if you gotta disinfect every time you take your shit, you might have more problems than you realize.
Well, that's between me and my smart device and my Google Home, not you, sir. Those painful shits I take are between me and Google alone.
Nice.
Eric, I hear you're having quite the bowel movement. Would you like me to order toilet paper?
Fuck yes! Call the National Guard.
Why?
Oh man, that's why I like with like the potty training with like Tommy. It's like I don't want to do that like when I'm taking like the morning glory because that's always
It's your time.
it's always the worst. No, it's not even that it's my time. It's I have a pretty good open door policy with my bathroom use
Yeah, that's fair.
here at home, but that one in the morning, that's not anything that if you're trying to for someone who doesn't know how to use the bathroom, that's not the visual that you want to fucking give them. Especially like first thing in the morning. That's like, like you're gripping shit. Like, I did those handicap bathrooms. I used to think that bar was there.
Dude, that's not what
That was the bathroom for me because I'm taking these
Yeah.
these BMs, and so I got the holy shit handle right there. Like,
they are definitely holy shit handles.
this toilet should come with a seatbelt, man.
They do. Isn't that what that plastic ring is for? Don't you like sit in the bowl and lower that over yourself?
I'm not there yet.
Oh man.
I don't have a pulley and a rope. Like a
Bro.
All right, listeners, he says that, but he's lying.
I've seen it.
No, you haven't. You don't come to my bathroom.
I used it as a sex swig until I learned it was for him to use the bathroom. It kind of ruined it.
Did it ruin? I bet it
Like
did.
sweet sex swing.
Probably.
This thing's
Did you
awesome.
just say sex wagon?
Sex swing.
That's
Well,
what
swing
the
wagon.
called.
It's a wagon
Oh,
brand.
sex swing.
Swing. I swear to God, I heard wagon.
Sex swing.
My
I'm into
shower
it.
is the sex wagon.
I'm like in my fucking phone, like sex wagon.
Fuck, imagine our Google searches later on.
Oh man,
What
yeah.
the fuck? It's type in S like sex wagon for $49.99. You're like, what the fuck?
It's a good price for a sex wagon.
That's fucking sweet. Yeah, dudes. Hey, so my battery is gonna die like any minute.
Okay, boys.
So
Fair
yeah.
enough.
I feel good leaving it at sex wagon.
Okay,
Yeah,
me too.
yeah, and also like the second reason Tyson ruined this pod night, right here, dead battery.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
First it's COVID, and now it's a battery. Will
And
it
hopefully-
ever stop with you?
yeah.
Hopefully next week we're all live, and hopefully,
Stop telling them that.
hopefully your mics show up.
Stop telling them that.
Yeah, but this is still your fault, not mine. So
Yeah. This
I'll-
is
I'll
your
take-
fault.
I'll take that one. Sure, I'll take that one. All right, Wheels. Where can we find you, man?
You can find Wheels at Mighty Wheels, and also Justin Reether on Twitter on Instagram and Facebook. And you can also follow our Wheels Blues podcast Facebook page. Please subscribe, like, give us 5 stars, and suggest things that you want us to talk about. Maybe we'll talk about it, maybe we won't. We don't know yet. We haven't decided.
Maybe we
oh,
will.
dude, Ben, I haven't seen a recording light in a while.
No, it's on.
Yeah, it's on. It's going.
Fuck you. I'm just gonna leave now. I'm at Squeed, SKW You can follow the Instagram that I rarely upload to at Wheels Blues Pod, and it's been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the inanity.
I'm at Tin Can Blues. You can find me at Tin Can Blues, and our website is wheelsbluespodcast.wixsite.com/my site. Our blog and our merch and our a little bit about us and our podcast is right there on the website. So go over there, join our Discord too. The link's on the Twitter page, and give us some podcast topics.
And I'm at Eric_83, and you can find me in the bathroom in the morning taking painful shits with my sex wagon.
The holy shit bars.
And
Holy
Mighty Wheels
shit,
approve
Mark.
this message.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody.
This has been episode 18. Thank you, everybody.
Peace.